E3 is open to the public this year, and I'm not going. My name is Cassius Kent, and this is Filed Found. The topic of today's show is going to be E3 opening up to the public for the first time in over a decade now. Normally, this should be very exciting. This should be amazing. This should be wonderful. It's a great chance to go to one of the de facto video game shows in the world. But there are a few problems with the way E3 currently is that doesn't make me too ambivalent to rush to buy a ticket and go all the way to San Francisco, all the way to LA to go to the show. The main problem being E3 is not a consumer show. E3 is for the consumer, but it is not for consumers to attend. This is because the games that they will be able to play, the games that are brought to E3, the tech that is brought to E3 is for press to see, for press to tell the masses why this is cool and why it's not. And if E3 stays the way that it is and invites 15,000 people to the show, it's going to be a huge problem. Most notably, there will be increased lines. No one will be able to play the games that they want, and all the cool stuff that you actually do want to see will be behind closed doors. Now, this is fine, I guess, for people that want to do that. It'll be great for making connections across the industry, but even then, it's still going to be overcrowded. You see, last year there was tens of thousands of people at E3, and this was just a press event. This was just, big influencers being invited and press. It's going to be worse this year, and this isn't a Gamescom situation we're looking at. This is a E3, Monday, this is a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday show, and that's a huge problem because not only are the people that are going to buy the tickets to E3 won't be able to attend any of the press conferences because they are for press, and that to me, that's the most alluring thing going to an E3, to a conference like this, is to see it live. You won't be able to see it on the floor because that's a press only event, and unless you are, even then, it's still very hard to get into those conferences. So what's the point of going to play the games, right? Okay, that poses another problem. You're going to play the games, all the games that you want to see. Let's say that this was, 2016's E3. All the games that you want to see Zelda, you want to see Horizon Zero Dawn, you want to see Wildlands, you want to see For Honor. The lines for those games were huge. There's this legendary video of people racing to play Zelda last year. Do you honestly think that's going to be better this year? Do you honestly think that the line for Super Mario Odyssey is going to be small? That the booth is going to be big enough to hold that many people? Eventually, there's going to be a section of the line that's just going to chopped off and said, all right, well, this is the line. It's going to take 4 hours from here to get to there, and everyone behind this line, go home and try tomorrow. And it's still a 3-day show. Now, if E3, as it stands right now, took on a more consumer-friendly convention like, say, Gamescom, where there are definite press days, which will be Monday and Tuesday for, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday for Bethesda and Sony and Microsoft and Nintendo and whoever else wants to go. And then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday are consumer days, are where people get to come in, where the floodgates get open, where you come in and it's a bigger space. There are more booths for people to play more games. The lines aren't as horrible, and you still get to see all the cool things that you want to see. Now that I would rush to do that in a heartbeat, because Gamescom is what the model should be. Gamescom has hard press days and hard non-press days, and that's important for a conference like that, because when the press aren't able to play the games, because press gets appointments, a consumer will not get an appointment to see a game, and if you don't have an appointment, you are probably not going to see the game that you want to see. So then why are you here? Why did you spend so much money to stand in line? And I'm not with that. I'm not for that. I don't want to spend close to $1,000 to go stand in a very long line. And while the Air E3 is probably electric, I'm gonna have to pass. Not because I don't think this is a great opportunity, because it is. Not because I don't think that this is just terrible. It's not, but it could be better. And the way it stands right now, the ESA is probably not going to do a very good job of managing this additional 15,000 non-press people, and that's a huge problem. If it were more like a Gamescom, more like a Tokyo Game Show, then yes, absolutely, go to E3. If you can, spend the money and go, because it would be worth it. But as it stands right now, it's just not worth it. Just not worth the time commitment, the money, and just all the long list of things that just makes it bad for a consumer show, for a boots on the ground convention. That's not good. The way it's set up isn't good. And maybe it is set. Maybe they are changing the rules this year, and it's gonna be, they're gonna be definite press days and consumer days, but they haven't said that. And tickets are $250 a person. That's very steep. Now if the price was a little lower, but more people could get in, that'd be a different story. But I think that's where I'm going to end off today. What do you think? I know that some people are very excited about this, and I don't blame you for being excited. This is the first time this is happening. This is a huge opportunity. And if you're going to go to E3, that's the best place to make connections within the industry. But, they're also, everyone there is for the same thing. They are there for video games. And everyone there has the same interest, more or less. Everyone is going to want to see Mario. Everyone is going to want to see the next big Sony IP. Everyone's going to want to see God of War or Days Gone. Everyone's going to see what Crackdown 3 is doing, what the next Forza game is doing, what Sea of Thieves is doing. Everyone's want to see what Nintendo's doing. So they're there for that. And it's going to be a cluster of people there for the same thing. And if you think that you're going to go there and see, your favorite developers or your favorite influencers, don't count on it. Because there are also an additional 50,000 people there to see those exact same people. You will not be able to see Hideo Kojima. You will not be able to see Todd Howard. You won't be seeing the Greg Millers or the Colin Moriartys or the Arthur Geeses. You won't be seeing these people at all. Because it's just, that's a whole nother thing. So, if you are going to go to E3, be mindful of these things. Be mindful that you're not just paying, $250 to go to LA to the show. You're paying with time, and you're paying with a lot of time. And I don't think that time investment will be worth it for that, because unless you just go there and you play 2 games, what have you done? You've made no connections, you talk to no one, and you got to play 2 games. Sure, you got to play Mario, but alright, you spent all this money to fly to LA to play a game that's coming out 3 months after the fact anyway. I'm just not sold on the idea as it is right now. The ESA needs to do a better job of making this a more consumer-friendly show for a boots on the ground convention. Now, if they turn it into something like PAX East, if they turn it into something like Gamescom or Tokyo Game Show, then absolutely go for it. I would be hand over fist. I will spend the money immediately, no hesitation whatsoever. Just do it. But as it stands right now, I can't recommend anyone to do this. Anyone that lives far away to do this. If you're in LA, absolutely. If you live anywhere near California, do it. But if you don't, maybe wait till next year. Maybe wait till it's a more consumer-friendly show. And it's gonna be that. Because this was a last-minute thing of, oh no, publishers are leaving, we're not making as much money. The ESA said, all right, let's bring the fans. And they have to do that to survive. And E3 as it is now cannot survive without the fans. So next year, we're going to see, it's going to be a bigger show. It's going to be wider spaces, more booths, more games, more people, more consumer friendliness towards the whole thing. It'll be more of an event, more of a convention than it is right now. But I've gone on for 10 minutes on this subject, so please tell me what you think about this whole going to E3 thing. Are you going to go to E3? Are you going to spend the money, take the time to go to E3? Or are you going to sit this one out until next year, until when they get it together, assuming that we live that long. But that's it for me. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Until next time, take care, everyone.